Hey everyone, I'm back. If you hear something, there's thunder and lightning going on. I don't know if it actually stopped it now, but we are or was under a severe thunderstorm warning. So yeah, we did go to Gettysburg, but you might not see any videos because it was dead. Like, in the literal sense, like, there were so many people. I think all the spirits were like, we're done, we're going back to bed. Good night. Like, I wanted me too. Like, there was a lot of people. And also because was a paranormal event going on the day we were leaving, so that was probably why there was a lot of people. But hopefully something new will be coming this spring or summer. I'm not putting out any promises, because I don't know either. But, until then, let's start. And I know it's been a while, so if I have a lot of I'm sorry in advance, and yeah. And yes, this video I'm going to be talking about might actually surprise a lot of people, especially if you're new to the paranormal community. Pirates of the Caribbean is a dark ride at Disneyland Magic Kingdom and Tokyo Disneyland and Disneyland Park. The ride tells the story of the band of pirates in the West Indies islands around the Caribbean Sea in the 17th and 18th centuries, with the saga of their voyages, troubles, and exploits. The original version of the ride opened in Disneyland in Anaheim, California, near Los Angeles in 1967, and was the last ride whose construction was envisioned and personally overseen by Walt Disney, who died 3 months before it opened. After the immense popularity, the ride was replaced 6 years later at the Magic Kingdom out of Walt Disney World. And yes, I have been on that ride, and don't know when I'll be back. Near Orlando, Florida in 1973. Versions followed at Tokyo Disneyland in 1983, and the Disneyland Park in Paris 1992. While each of the inherited versions of the ride have been a different facade, they all provide a similar ride experience. The Pirates of the Caribbean ride gives the rise to the song A Pirate's Life for Me, written by George Burns and Xavier Antinisio. While many Disney park attractions are based on the films, this particular ride became the bias for the Pirates of the Caribbean film series, which debated in 2003. And when I was younger, I don't know which one this was, but the one where they drank that potion and they became skeletons, that one actually terrified me. And again, I don't remember which one it was, but I know it's one of the earlier movies. And I think I might have to rewatch Pirates of the Caribbean. And that will be a very long wait sitting at the computer. I guess I'm gonna bring my popcorn. Since 2006, Disney incorporated characters such as Jack Sparrow and Hector Barbarossa from the film series The Disneyland Magic Kingdom and Tokyo Park Disneyland, and in Disneyland Park in Paris versions of the ride, as different ride included my visitors' familiarity with the worldwide success of the the feature film series, Pirates of the Caribbean: Battle for the Sunken Treasure, opened at the Shanghai Disneyland Park in 2016. Pirates of the Caribbean is a show taking place in the Gold Age of piracy. While the time frame is unconfirmed, the Vocationland Magnemite said the ride plunges into the 17th century, while Jack Searle's book, Pirates of the Caribbean, formed the Magic Kingdom, and the movies suggested the ride was in the late 1700s. Opening on March 18, 1967, the Disneyland version of the Pirates of the Caribbean was the last ride that Walt Disney participated in designing it 3 months before his death. It is located within the New Orleans Square portion of Disneyland. Its facade evoking the antebellum era in New Orleans, topped with a 31-star United States flag. It was originally envisioned as a walk-through wax museum, but with the success of a boat ride concept of a small world at the 1964 New York World Fair. And actually, I've been on both rides, and from what I remember, I'm not a big fan of porcelain dolls. I don't think anyone is, because of their lifelike exterior creeps me out. And the eyes of each doll, I'm like, no. My grandmother, could you not? My grandmother has a whole thing filled with porcelain dolls. And I actually seen it. And I'm like, no, Grandma, no, what? Why? And actually, one of them scared my dad so much while he and my mom were dating that my mom actually had to get out of bed, turn the head, because my dad thought the doll was staring right at him. And I saw that doll. It is creepy. Grandma, if you're watching this, why? Disney decided to employ the same ride system on the Pirates of the Caribbean, and an oversight sign at the boat dock name is for the famous pirate Jean Lafayette, who fought alongside the U.S. Army at the Battle of New Orleans in the War of 1812. The second floor of the facade was originally designed by a private Disney family apartment, but was later opened in spring of 1987. I did not read. As an art-related retail museum space called the Disney Gallery, and was replaced in late 2007 by the Disneyland Dream Suite. The original installation of at Disneyland was manufactured by Arrow Development and Arrow Consultant on the next two installations. The ride's passengers carrying boats are very similar to the patron assigned at Walt Disney Productions, but filmed by Edgar A. Morgan, one of the founders of the Arrow Development. The Arrow participated in the design and development of many rides at Disneyland from 1953. There are 630,000 gallons of water, 553 audio animatronic animals and birds, and 75 audio animatronic pirate and villagers in the ride. And it takes 3 days to empty and refill the bayou for renovations. Across the the Browning era within the ride, the Blue Bayou restaurant made it look like the backyard dinner party of a southern plantation. And I've been to I don't know if they still have it, I'd be shocked if they do actually. I've been to God, what was it, with all the animals? It was a restaurant, the safari restaurant. I don't know if that's what it's called, but that's what I'm remembering it as, and I loved it. I loved all the animatronic animals, all the sounds, and I wonder if it's like that. And it actually felt like you were in a safari, but I guess that's Disney magic. At the restaurant opened the same day as the ride, and is considered one of the original theme restaurants. The debut of the Magic Kingdom at Walt Disney World in 1971 brought many popular rides from Disneyland to the East Coast, but the Pirates of the Caribbean was not one of them. As the Caribbean region is a geological located near Florida, it was part of a Caribbean-themed ride, and it would not be hold the same mystique as it did in California. Instead, the Western River Expedition with Big Thunder Mountain would replace the ride with a similar boat ride and other rides. However, Disney later announced that a Florida version of the Pirates of the Caribbean ride would open on December 15th, 1973. And by the way, it was the Florida one I was on, not in California. I never been to California in my life. And I don't think I will be going, unless I visit my aunt. Unnecessary interactions from the Pirates of the Caribbean later opened at Disney Park in Tokyo and Paris. The opening of the Disney Gallery in 1987 also coincided with the rides outside the Quebec. I don't know French, so I apologize in advance if I get anything wrong. I should have looked up how to pronounce this word before I did this video. Our area being completely redone and improved traffic flow. A British walkway was built in front of the entrance to allow crowds to pass through the New Orleans Square without causing traffic jams, with guests waiting in line for the ride. The original Disneyland version of the Pirates of the Caribbean ride from 1967 to 2006, an episode of Walt Disney's Wonderful World color shows Walt Disney during the conception stage, as well as presenting footage of the ride's opening day. Further detail on the history and behind the scenes of the attraction were chronicled in the 2005 book Pirates of the Caribbean: From the Magic Kingdom to the Movies by Jason Sorrell. The ride begins amid living fireflies during the evening of Louisiana Bayou. The guests board their boats at Lafayette's Landing at once afloat and here on the Bayou County. I can't read. Banjo Melodies, Old Susanna, and Camptown races can be heard as the guests pass through houseboats, one of whose porches featured an old man can be heard as guests can be seen of an old man calmly rocking back and forth in his rocking chair and smoking a pipe. Above a stone archway, a talking skull with crossed swords provide words of warning before the guest boat takes a plunge down a waterfall into an dimly lit Haven's Passage, where voices can be heard singing the theme song. After the second blood sunk further into the depths of the underground rock grotto, known as the Dead Man's Cove, yes, we hold a skeletal remains of an unfortunate band of pirates guarding their loot and treasure with the Macarme delight. During this session, a voice can be heard repeating the phrase, "Dead men tell no tales." The boat glides gently past an old pirate shipwreck. Through the helmsman is nothing more than a skeleton doomed to pilot the ship throughout a thunderstorm. Moving forward, the crew quarters are complete with a skeletal pirate frozen in time, playing chess and drinking rum. One skeleton drinking a models through exposed ribs. The captain quarters featured a bony corpse examining treasure map in bed, while an old horoscope plays the theme song. And a huge amount of treasure being guarded by another skeleton pirate. As guests continue through an empty, dark tunnel, two ominous voices boomed from above, warning of the cursed treasure that lies ahead. Once guests are out of the tunnel, they arrive sometime between the 17th century or the late 1700s, where cannonballs they arrive whistled through overhead, explosions thrown water into the air. A fierce battle in the Caribbean between the Martinique pirate Valerin and the wicked Wents, and a Spanish fortress in full swing. From the deck of the wicked Wents, the pirate captain leads an assault, and colonial defenders can be seen manning the fort cannons, barking orders to each other in English and Spanish, shouting threats, invading the pirates. The village of the Peru Dore on Aliza Torso is overrun with pirates in search of treasure. The first sight is in the town square, where some pirates kidnap the mayor Carlos and threaten to throw him in the well if he does not divulge the location of the treasure. Carlos's wife, Kate, who is voiced by June Foray, peeks out of an upstairs window, telling him to be brave and not talk. He is shot at as Carlos is repeatedly dunked in the water, while a line of other captain city officials look on. An auction scene follows, where water follows water, while a line of other city's officials look, where an auctioneer pirate tries to sell off the local woman with a banner, "Take the Wents for a bride." The biters yell out for the redhead, flirtatious women in a red dress. In the next scene, the women are being chased through the town by pirates, reminiscing about the lively lassies he wished to hoist his colors. Um, hiding her ship as her rattles on, the woman peers out from the inside the barrel that sat behind the pirate's back as they keep boasting, unaware. This then watched a carefree, tipsy pirate sing Yo-Ho, a pirate's life for me, as they succeed in ravishing the town and setting it aflame, filling the night sky with an orange glow. Others allow the mud on the pirate particular sleeping with kings, and another pirate named Old Bill offering rum to stray cats. The boat next floats past the dungeon where imprisoned pirates are doing their best to escape, and flames draw near. A small dog just out of the prisoner's reach holds the key to their escape in his teeth. It seems all but immune to the pleas of the pirates trying to coax him closer. One of the pirates holds a noose, hoping to trap the dog. Timbers are smoldering and cracking overhead as riders sail through the storms. Roaming the room filled with gunpowder, cannonballs, and rum filled, suiting the continued singing. A shout out between the infirmary crew and the captain of the pirate ship instead of flaming ammunition warehouse threatens to demolish the entire village. Finally, the end of the ride, boat proceeds up to a lift halt, which passes through the pirates trying to launch the treasure sets up the hill. Bess then reach the top of the hill and spill back into the sleepy bayou where their journey began. Pirates of the Caribbean at Disneyland has gone through many changes, refurbishments over the years, but the ride itself remains the same. Among the changes made an additional reference to the film franchise, some which have made it into other parks. The ride guarded by the Caribbean Watchtower Torre del Sol is a house in a golden Spanish fort called the Castle del Murillo, inspired by the Castellino dan San Felipe del Murillo in the old San Juan in Puerto Rico. Did I say Peru earlier? I meant Puerto Rico. The quay winds through the fort, passing supplies and cannons, and a pair of pirate skeletons sit at a chessboard. The passing supplies and the chess-playing skeletons man was specifically designed for the Magic Kingdom by the engineer Mark Davis, who tasked was designing the ride. There are two quays designed to invoke a different atmosphere on the soldier side, and the other is the pirate side. Both these quays coverings with the loading area known as Pirates Cove. My head is starting to hurt. Oh, I don't know why. The load of the area of Pirates Cove, Westward, boats to escape the fortress under the seas throughout the series of tunnels leading to the bay. A pirate ship can be seen floating on the distance from a loaded area. Only two of the skeleton scenes from Disneyland, where brought to the brought to the Massive Kingdom. The treasure chest beats and hurricane beats. A talking straw on the wall drives a brief safety warning before flashing its eyes, taking a photo of guests in the process. The boat then heads down a 14-foot drop, passing under the Walt Disney World Railroad, in the process of dropping down to ground level. At the bottom, guests pass through the dark passage and pass through between a battle scene in a pirate ship and island fortress. The ride continues as the guests walk through the town, being ransacked and seeing a woman shouting to her husband, who has been dunked multiple times into the well, is attempting to get information from him on the location of Captain Jack Sparrow and the treasures. Let's then see Jack hiding behind some woman's clothing, looking back over his shoulder at the pirates who are searching for him. The boat next passes a scene where the guests of the townspeople forced to surrender their loot in an auction. Pirates can be heard yelling, "We want the rum." Let's go under a bridge and see pirates stealing treasure chests and being chased by angry women. A pirate sitting beside his dog, holding a key and a map, saying that Jack will not be able to find the treasure without his map and key. Guests then see Jack behind him, hiding in a barrel, looking right at him. On the right is a drunk pirate drinking rum and talking to cats. What is it with this pirate and cats and rum? I know that's what pirates drank back then, but the cats as well. When I get some cats drunk, okay. Guests then pass under another bridge and see the town is on fire. There are three pirates who are singing along to the song with a donkey and a dog. Guests see more pirates stealing treasure, singing, and carrying the torches which set the city alight. Guests then begin to pass under a bridge. One on the right, there was a pirate with the right passing out and surrounded by pigs. Above a pirate dangles his hairy, dirty legs down. As the Disneyland version, the guests see the prisoners try to escape the jail by attempting to lure the dog who has keys in the mouth over to them. Leaving the jail, guests enter the town's treasure room. Jack Sparrow, having used the keys stolen from the pooped-out pirate to open the door, drinks rum and sing "Yo-Ho" in victory. The pirates then the ride ends as the guests exit, going left, taking a speed ramp back to the surface. The Pirates of the Caribbean ride at Disneyland Park, Paris, house a battle scar fortress at the back of the park. Many of the original scenes are seen in the ride, while some new ones were included, such as two swordsmen dueling for a woman in the town scene. If you ever read in the Disney World's iconic Pirates of the Caribbean, you've probably been swept away by the immense world of swashbuckling pirates, hidden treasure, and ship battles. However, there is a lesser-known legend lurking in the shadows in the classic attraction. The Legend of George. The ghost dates back to the construction of the Pirates of the Caribbean ride in the Magic Kingdom of 1970. According to the story, George was a construction worker who tragically died on the ride. Through the details of his death vary. Some versions claim he fell from a high place, while others say he was crushed by a piece of falling equipment. While there are no official record of George's death, his ghost has become part of the Disney folklore. Today, George is said to haunt the ride, and many believe he causes mischief for the ride's operators and guests. What makes George such a unique part of Disney World's haunted lore is the respect or fear that many cast members have for him. And I learned that when you work at Disney, you're not an employee or a worker. You are actually known as a cast member, which is actually very creative. Cast members operating the ride are said to follow a certain rule to keep tours from interfering with attractions' daily operations. Most famous rule is that every morning before the ride opens, cast members must say "Good morning, George" over the loudspeaker announcing his presence. Similarly, at the end of the day, they have to say "Good night, George" to avoid angering him. According to the stories, falling to greet George, failing to greet George. That's how you know my head is killing me. I cannot read it, and I know that's normal, but my head is starting to pound. Leading to all kinds of technical malfunctions throughout the day, from the ride breaking down to lights flickering, or even the entire system shutting down unexpectedly. There have been multiple accounts from cast members claiming that the problem arose on the days they forgot to greet George properly. So the superstition has kept the tradition alive for decades, and many continue to take it seriously, whether they believe in ghosts or not. Guests who have heard George's haunting often try to engage with the spirit while riding the Pirates of the Caribbean. Some have reported strange happenings after taunting him or jokingly asking for a sign of his presence. A common story involves a guest who says George isn't real, or insulting him during the ride, only to experience a sudden ride stoppage or technical issues. In addition to haunting the ride, George's presence is often felt in several ways. Cast members have shared stories of the unexplained cold spots, flickering lights, and even ghostly apparitions on the ride security cameras. Some claim to have seen a figure of a man dressed in construction gear or heard footsteps when no one was around. However, these sightings are rare and often dismissed as an overactive imagination of those who believe in the legend. Whether or not George actually exists, the Pirates of the Caribbean ride has developed a rich history, and the ghostly legend only adds on. The first opening of Disney World's Ghostly Magic Kingdom on December 15, 1973, where the ride has become a favorite among the park visitors, blending cutting-edge technology fast with classic Disney storytelling. The Zorn story is just one of the many urban lessons associated with Disney World, but it's not one of the few that involves such a significant person tied to the event. For those who are interested in the paranormal, the ride has become something of a pilgrimage, with guests hoping to catch a glimpse of Zorn's ghost or experience one of his traits. Part of what makes the Zorn's lesson so fascinating is how it plays into the atmosphere of the Pirates of the Caribbean. The ride itself is designed to transport guests into a ghostly world of pirate lore with its skeletons, haunting caves, and cursed treasures. The idea of the real ghosts might be lurking among the animatronics one deepens the immersive experience. For Disney, which is built on storytelling, the Land of Zorn adds to another layer of Disney's magic. Whether the visitors believe in ghosts or not, the story of Zorn's ghosts keep the scene of wonder alive, remaining us that even in a place designed for fun and imagination, there's room for a little mystery too. So, the next time if you board a boat on the Pirates of the Caribbean, be sure to say hello to Swords, just in case. After all, in a place as magical as Disney World, you never know what can be real and what's legend. The Pirates of the Caribbean ride is amazing. I haven't been on the newly developed one, and I haven't been in years in Disney World in general. But when I was doing research for more videos, I found this, and I already knew there were some places that were haunted in Disney World. And actually, if I can find enough information, the Haunted Mansion isn't just haunted for a ride. It's actually haunted for real. Well, so they say. Kind of like the Pirates of the Caribbean. It's a lesson, but some lessons are based on truth. So, thank you all for watching my channel and videos. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, I am Haunting Girl, and the paranormal is my playground. I'll spook you later. Until next time, pleasant dreams.